All right, let's start with a quick show of hands. How many of you here are gang OTT? Netflix, Prime, Hotstar, binge watching in pajamas and snacks on the side? Gang OTT? Okay. Now, how many of you are still gang cinema hall? Popcorn, the big screen, surround sound, and that one guy checking his phone mid-movie with the brightness and volume turned all the way up. Okay, I think we have more OTT than cinema hall. Now we have Netflix killed Blockbuster. AI will kill traditional schooling. Be on the right side of the shift. Disruptive, bold, and unfiltered, Miss Lina Ashar, visionary founder of Dreamtime Learning, takes us into a future where schooling, as we know it, may not survive. Are you ready to choose the right side of the shift? Ms. Lina Ashar is an education reformer on a mission to make learning fun, conscious, and deeply connected. Founder of Moonshot Conversations, she empowers parents to raise emotionally strong, future-ready children. Driven by early experiences in stressful classrooms, she created a model for stress-free experiential education. She has interviewed over 100 global thought leaders and authored 2 acclaimed books, Who Do You Think You Are Kidding? And Drama Teen, to help families build resilient, joyful relationships. She's not just changing the system, she's reimagining the very meaning of learning. May I please call upon Ms. Lina Ashar to the stage?
I'm right behind you.
Oh, okay. Welcome.
Good morning, everyone. So good news or bad news? 38% of IIT graduates did not get placements this year. This is not a statistic, it's a wake-up call for all of us. The future isn't coming, it's already here. Parents will finally stop asking which school gets the best marks and will start asking which schools prepare my child for this world. Over 50% of the Fortune 500 companies from the year 2000 no longer exist. They were acquired, went bankrupt, or simply became irrelevant. Why? Because they did not adapt. Kodak did not die because people stopped taking photos. Blockbuster didn't fail because people stopped watching movies. They died because they failed to change. Education is today, as far as I'm concerned, at the same crossroads as Kodak and Blockbuster. Let me pause and say something critical. I don't think of this as a maybe. It's not a theory. It's already happening. Experts predict that up to 1 in 3 schools will no longer exist in their form by 2035. Not because parents will stop caring, not because teachers will stop trying, but because the world is moved forward and schools are not. The future isn't coming, it's here. The real question is, can we evolve fast enough to meet it? A child who knows how to manage failure, navigate conflict, and lead with empathy will thrive no matter what career they pursue, no matter what the future holds. Look how fast we adapted. Quills to styluses, typewriters to AI co-pilots, yet education is kind of stuck. We still prioritize mostly memory over mastery, information over transformation. The world doesn't need more test-cracking robots. It needs emotional intelligence, adaptability, creativity, and self-mastery. Timeless capacities that ancient traditions, especially India, always have known. But if education stays stuck, the world will move on, and skills will become redundant. Just look at Microsoft. Entire teams of skilled coders this year were laid off. Not because they lacked talent, but because their skills were no longer enough in an AI-driven world. It's not intelligence that keeps us relevant, it's mindset. A fixed mindset keeps people locked in past successes, making it even more difficult, even easier to become redundant. A growth mindset empowers learners to evolve, adapt, and stay ahead no matter how fast the world changes. All of us in this room need that growth mindset. The same mindset that Kodak, Nokia, and Blockbuster lacked is what learners need to survive the future. Innovation doesn't come from intelligence, it comes from mindset. And mindset can be taught. So how do we develop that mindset? Learning must move beyond the textbook that we know we've all been saying. The schools thriving in 2040 won't fear technology. They'll build their learning ecosystem around it. AI, AR, VR, real-time feedback, and immersive platforms must be part of the learning process, not as added afterthoughts. Curriculums must adapt to strengths, interests, pace, and passion. Any school that can check 3 or more of these boxes is not just being left behind, the school is at risk. Only those who reinvent will remain relevant, the rest will become cautionary tales. So at Dreamtime Learning, we've reimagined the foundation, not around textbooks or exams, but how the brain learns, how emotions drive engagement, and how the real world is evolving at breathtaking speed. This is the Dreamtime Edge, brain-based learning design, emotional connections, gamified and collaborative learning, relatable, relevant, interdisciplinary, just like Anil spoke about, tech-enabled immersive learning. AI is not a threat, it is in our environment, and we must learn to work with it, because our kids will either be masters of AI or they'll be replaced by those who are. Learner-led journeys, like Russell spoke about, portfolios. Students aren't products, they're possibilities, and we must honor this potential. These are the 4 pillars of the Dreamtime Learning pedagogical design. A hook, we begin by sparking curiosity. Then, because of the brain, attention has not been captured by the hook. If we are starting with compliance, sit down, be quiet, we've lost the game. Our brain-based design triggers intrigue, emotion, and personal relevance right from the start. We then go to absorbing. We help learners deeply understand what it is we need them to understand. And we then, because the activities are so real-world relevant, we activate the hippocampus, turning information into retention. At Dreamtime, we understand that learning isn't surface level, it's cellular. I'm going to pass that because I know we already had a very long, but that was Ruchika. She's started her career with her journey with us as a parent, then a Kangaroo Kids franchisee, then she went on to now investing in Dreamtime Learning. So our gamified collaborative models are designed to beat the dopamine loop of a smartphone, with community-driven engagement, role play, challenge cycles, and more. Anyone who was in our session yesterday, we used the phones throughout, but not in a way that distracted the learners, but in a way that engaged them and enthralled them and kept them fast-paced. And we social played, and we had feedback loops. We need creation, because if learners in the world going forward cannot create and synthesize what they've learned, then it'll mean that they cannot truly perform their understanding of and showcase what they have done. So from persuasive writing to podcasts to models, films, and surveys, every Dreamtime journey culminates in authentic learner-led creation. We've got Sandeep here. He's just judging a whole lot of stories that children have written, and then they learn how to actually go towards authoring their own books, because that's what we need. We need a transformation roadmap. So what we want to think about is, if anyone could design schools from scratch, would we design them the way that they are right now? These are just some case studies. This was Finland International School. We doubled the intake just by virtue of putting in the curriculum. They were IB, but without the structure of the IB and without the teaching talent of the IB, this allowed them to regain parent trust. We're in this school here, Songline. Again, we doubled the intake of students. Yesterday, Willie spoke about how his students went from 23 to 76. And this is in Mysore. And this is actually DPS Chhattisgarh. So this is your window, our window to reinvent, to lead, to build a school that doesn't just survive the next decade, but defines what education looks like. A future where children grow up to be conscious of their thoughts, decisions, and actions, where children know that their inner world will create their outer reality. Our learning design includes mindful breathing, reflection, value-based living, the world through all its AI and uncertainties finally catching up to something that India always knew. The greatest technology we can build is a well-wired, well-regulated brain. In a world of AI, the world does not need more children who can crack tests. It needs humans who are whole, healed, mindful, curious, and purposeful-led. Let's teach children how to program their minds so that no algorithm can program it for them. I sold Kangaroo Kids and Billabong High after going to Singularity in 2017 to rebuild the basis of what I'm doing. So for any of you planning to go to Singularity, beware, it is a life-changing, mind-shifting experience. Thank you, Ravi, so much for always being my friend, and 3 seconds before time. Thank you so much.